Chosen one, you're not seeing this by accident. This moment, right here, right now, is divinely timed. The universe, the divine, and your higher self have aligned perfectly to bring you here. What you're about to hear will shift your entire perspective. It will stir something deep within you, something that's been quietly waiting for this very confirmation. You've felt it your whole life, that persistent sense of being different, of not quite fitting in, like you were placed in a world that doesn't truly see you. That feeling isn't random. It's real, because you are not just anyone. You are the lost child of a royal bloodline, not a kingdom of this earth, but of a sacred divine lineage chosen by God. You've always sensed you were meant for more. You've questioned why your path has been harder, why you feel things so deeply, why you can see truth in a world full of illusion, and why the superficial never satisfies you. There's a reason for all of it. You were hidden in plain sight, placed among the ordinary, but you were never meant to stay there. Your life has been a spiritual initiation, a refining fire designed to awaken you to who you truly are. You were born into a world that tried to keep you asleep, but not anymore. This message is your wake-up call. Your awakening is already in motion. You've noticed the signs, the synchronicities, the inner nudges, the unexplainable pull toward something bigger. That wasn't your imagination. That was your soul remembering. The world may have tried to silence it, but the truth inside you has never stopped calling. And now, it's louder than ever. You're here because you're ready. Ready to remember. Ready to rise. The lost child is returning to their rightful place. The royal blood within you is activating. And once you claim this truth, everything in your life will start to shift. If this message speaks to you, type 11 in the comments to declare your awakening. This isn't just another video. This is a direct call to your soul, a sign that your divine purpose is unfolding. Don't scroll past it. Claim it. Own it. Let the universe know you're ready. And if you haven't already, subscribe and tap the bell icon, because this is just the beginning. Your true inheritance is waiting. And now, you're finally ready to reclaim it. The bloodline of the chosen ones. Chosen one, the world has tried to convince you that you're just like everyone else, that you're ordinary. But deep down, you've always known that's not true. You've felt it your whole life. You don't quite fit into the mold society expects. And that's not a flaw. It's a sign. That sense of not belonging, of longing for something deeper, something more. It's not by chance. It's your soul speaking, reminding you of who you really are. You come from a divine bloodline. You're not just another person living an ordinary life. You are the descendant of a sacred lineage, chosen by God. You are royalty, not in the physical sense, but in the spiritual. Your existence isn't random. You're here for a reason, a purpose written in your soul since the beginning of time. You are part of an ancient line, spiritual warriors, enlightened beings, leaders of light. But this bloodline has been hidden. It's been scattered, buried, and suppressed by forces that fear what will happen when the chosen ones awaken. Because when you rise, their control begins to crumble. That's why you've been tested. That's why you felt broken, isolated, and lost. They wanted you to forget who you are. But the truth can't be destroyed. And now, it's time to remember. Throughout history, the chosen have been separated from their origins, born into families that don't understand them, raised in systems that reject them, forced into roles that don't fit them. But even then, something inside them refuses to die. The divine spark within them cannot be extinguished. No matter how deeply it's buried, it will find its way to the surface. You were meant to awaken, even in a world that wants to keep you asleep. Ancient texts and spiritual traditions speak of this hidden bloodline, those chosen by God, to fulfill a higher mission on earth. These weren't rulers of castles or armies. Their power didn't come from thrones or crowns, but from their connection to the divine. They were seers, guides, protectors of sacred knowledge. They led with truth, with light, and with love. And you, chosen one, are part of that lineage. It's in your DNA, codes of wisdom that can't be taught in books. These teachings live in your spirit, passed down through lifetimes. That's why you just know things, even without learning them. That's why logic can't explain the depth of your insight. Your soul remembers what your mind has forgotten. That's why you've always been drawn to the spiritual, to mysteries beyond the material world. That's why you feel connected to energies you can't see, to truths you can't fully explain. You're not just discovering something new. You're remembering something ancient. This is why life has felt so heavy. People like you, those who are chosen, don't get an easy path. You were placed in situations that pushed your limits, surrounded by environments meant to test your will. You've faced betrayals, losses, and disappointments that most people couldn't even imagine. But you survived. Every time life knocked you down, you got back up. That resilience, that's the mark of a divine lineage. You weren't born to blend in. You were born to rise. You've been forged in fire so that your true power could emerge. Ever wonder why people who are broken, lost, or in need seem to gravitate toward you? It's because they see your light, even if they don't know what it is. They sense something in you that's rare, sacred. That's the presence of divine inheritance. Even your enemies, the ones who try to tear you down, they feel it. That's why you've faced so much resistance. Your very presence threatens the darkness around you. They recognize your potential before you do, and it scares them. That's why you've been made to feel small, unsure, like you don't belong. But that time is over. You don't need anyone's permission to step into who you are. The doubt, leave it behind. The hesitation, let it go. It's time to own your power. It's time to rise. You are not just anybody. You carry the legacy of spiritual royalty. You are descended from guardians of sacred knowledge, messengers of divine truth. Your spiritual ancestors have never left your side. They've been guiding you, protecting you, waiting for you to awaken. And now that time has come. You can't keep pretending you're just like everyone else. You're not. You never were. You carry the spark of a higher purpose, and it's starting to burn brighter. If these words hit something deep inside you, that's not coincidence. It's your soul remembering. This is your awakening. You're being called into your purpose. Something far greater than you've ever imagined is on its way, and you're being prepared to step into it. The royal spirit within you is stirring, and soon the world will witness who you really are. The prophecy of the lost child is unfolding. You were never meant for an average life. From the very beginning, your journey has been different. The loneliness, the struggle, the spiritual hunger, they weren't accidents. They were signs. You are the lost child, separated from your divine inheritance, placed among the ordinary so that one day you could remember who you truly are. Ancient prophecies speak of you, those born with divine wisdom, destined to guide humanity, hidden in plain sight. But before they could rise, they had to suffer. They had to forget, so that when they remembered, their faith would be unshakable. These children were scattered across the world, born into families and lives that made them feel disconnected, out of place, lost. But the prophecy promised they would awaken when the time was right. And when they do, when you do, the world will change. Chosen one, you've always felt different, like you didn't quite belong, like something was missing. That's because you were never meant to fit into this world as it is. This reality was built to keep you asleep, to distract you from your power, but your soul, it never stopped fighting. Even when life tried to crush you, something deep inside kept pushing through. A voice inside you always knew you were meant for more. The prophecy says the lost child must walk through the fire before they awaken. Abandonment, betrayal, rejection, isolation, all of it was part of your preparation. Every scar, every heartbreak, every night you cried alone, it was shaping you, refining you, preparing you. You weren't meant for an easy life. Easy lives don't create warriors. You were built to endure the fire so you could rise into your full power. And now, it's time. There are forces in this world that do not want you to wake up. They've tried to keep you in the dark, buried beneath fear, doubt, and confusion. They've worked hard to convince you that you're powerless, that you're not enough. But the prophecy is clear. Nothing can stop the awakening of the lost child once their time has come. And chosen one, your time has come. The universe has been reaching out to you. You've been seeing the signs, repeating numbers, strange synchronicities, a deep inner shift you can't quite explain. You've been drawn to wisdom no one ever taught you. You've been searching for truths you've never been told. Why? Because the prophecy is already in motion. Your soul is answering the call. You're starting to remember who you really are. Not everyone will understand your journey. Some will look at your transformation and question it. Others will try to pull you back into the version of yourself that was asleep, unaware, disconnected. Don't let them. The prophecy said that when the lost child begins to awaken, they must let go of those who refuse to see the truth. This may be one of the hardest parts of your path, but it's necessary. You can't step into your divine inheritance while clinging to the past. You've never been alone. Your ancestors, your spiritual guides, and the divine itself have been with you every step of the way, watching, waiting, protecting you even in your darkest hours. Even the pain, even the heartbreak, it all led you here. It was all part of your awakening. Now the choice is yours. There is no turning back. Once you awaken, once you accept who you truly are, everything changes. Your vision clears. The illusions of the world begin to fall away. You rise to a higher frequency. You attract people, opportunities, and experiences that align with your soul's purpose. You step into your power, and the world will notice. But hear this. The journey won't be easy. The prophecy says the lost child will face resistance. That's how you know it's real. The world doesn't want you to remember your power. It will try to distract you, tempt you back into a life that feels safe but empty. You must stand your ground, claim your birthright, speak with authority, move like the divine being you are. This is not the time to doubt. This is not the time to hesitate. If this message stirs something deep inside you, if something in your soul is waking up as you hear these words, then you already know. You are part of this prophecy. You are the lost child, no longer lost. You are the one who has been called to rise. You were asleep. Now you are awake. You were lost. Now you are found. The prophecy is alive. And you are the proof. The test of separation. Chosen one, your journey has been marked by solitude. And that's no coincidence. From the start, you've been walking a path that few can truly understand. You've carried the weight of loneliness, the ache of being misunderstood, and the feeling of not quite belonging in the world around you. But this wasn't some cruel punishment. It was a test, a vital part of your growth, a challenge meant to shape you into who you're meant to become. The test of separation is one of the hardest trials anyone chosen for a greater purpose must go through. but it's also one of the most powerful. It's the part of the journey that breaks illusions, sharpens your spirit, and forces you to depend on nothing but your inner strength and your connection to something higher. Since you were young, maybe you felt different, like you didn't quite fit in with your family, your community, or society as a whole. No matter how hard you tried to blend in, something always set you apart. You saw through lies others were willing to believe. You asked questions others were afraid to ask. And for that, you were often pushed aside, misunderstood, or left to walk your path alone. Sometimes that isolation felt unbearable. You craved connection, longed for people who truly understood you, for a place where you belonged. But every time you tried to blend into the crowd, something always pulled you back. That's because your soul was never meant to blend in. You were chosen to walk a different road, one that required you to step away from the noise of the world so you could see the truth more clearly. This test wasn't meant to make you suffer. It was meant to prepare you. Look at the greatest spiritual leaders, prophets and visionaries in history. Almost all of them had to walk alone before they stepped into their true purpose. They were rejected, misunderstood, even cast out, and that solitude is what gave them their strength, their wisdom, their power. The same is true for you. All those quiet moments, all those nights when you had no one else to turn to, that's when you started to hear your own soul speak. That's when you started to tap into your truth. One of the hardest parts of this journey has been letting go of people who no longer align with where you're headed. You've seen relationships fade. You've felt the sting of betrayal. You've watched people you once trusted drift away or disappear entirely. That, too, was part of the test. Not everyone is meant to walk this path with you. Some people were only in your life to teach you something, to reveal something you needed to see before you could move forward. Losing them hurt, but it also pushed you closer to your purpose. You may have tried to hold on. You may have wondered why your love and loyalty were met with coldness or distance. But those breakups, those painful goodbyes, they were divine interventions. The universe was clearing space for what's truly meant for you. The higher you rise, the fewer people can come with you. This test isn't just about being alone. It's about being ready for the right people, the ones who see you, the ones who belong with you, the ones who are aligned with the version of you that you're becoming. The ones who left weren't meant for that version. They had to go so the real ones could find you. There's another side to this journey, and it's how the world sees you, because you don't think like everyone else, because you refuse to follow the crowd, because you see the truth behind the curtain. That's why you've often been misunderstood. Maybe people have judged you, mocked you, or even feared you. Your energy is too strong for those who are still asleep. Just by being yourself, you shake the illusions they cling to, and because they can't explain you, they push you away. But that rejection, it's not a curse, it's confirmation. If you were fully accepted by a broken world, it would mean you'd compromised who you are. There will be moments when you second-guess yourself, when the loneliness gets heavy, when you wonder if you should just go back to what's safe. But deep down, you know comfort was never your calling. You weren't made for mediocrity. You were made to rise, to break free, to see what others can't or won't see. Oh, this path isn't easy. It wasn't meant to be. Growth never is. But every dark night has prepared you for what's ahead. The test of separation, the loneliness, the loss, the inner battles, that's all been part of your transformation. It's stripped away the noise. It's revealed your truth. And now you're being positioned for your next chapter. The universe is aligning you with the right people, your soul family, those who see you, feel you, get you, People who don't drain your energy, but amplify it. People who see your light and honor it, not fear it. So don't resist the shift. Don't cling to what's falling away. Trust the process. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out, to lead, to awaken others. And every moment of solitude has been preparing you for exactly that. This separation wasn't a punishment. It was training. It's refined you, strengthened you, and brought you back to your essence. Now you're ready. A new season is beginning. One where you no longer have to walk alone. The right connections, the right opportunities, and the right direction are all starting to show up. You've passed the test. Now you step into what's next. There have always been signs. You are a lost child of royalty, a chosen one. And whether you've realized it or not, your entire life has been pointing to this truth. You've always felt different, like you didn't quite belong here. That sense wasn't your imagination. It was your soul speaking. Deep down, you've always known you were set apart, part of something ancient, powerful, and divine. Maybe you grew up in a family that didn't really understand you. Maybe you struggled to connect with the people around you. But you've always been drawn to something more, something beyond the surface of this world. That pull, that longing, that's the echo of your true heritage. One of the first signs is the feeling of not belonging. Since childhood, you felt out of place, like you were dropped into a world that never quite made sense. You questioned things others accepted without a thought. You weren't satisfied with easy answers. You wanted truth. That restless energy in your soul is a memory of where you came from, of who you really are. Another sign is your deep spiritual sensitivity. Even when you were young, you noticed things others missed. You picked up on people's energy. You felt what they didn't say. You had dreams, insights, gut feelings that turned out to be right. It's because you're connected to a higher realm, a divine lineage that still communicates with you. While others need proof, you've always just known. Your intuition has been your compass. Even when you didn't understand where it was pointing, you were never random, never ordinary. You've been set apart for something greater all along. Your life hasn't followed the usual path. Far from it. You've faced struggles most people can't begin to understand. As one of the lost children of royalty, your journey was never meant to be easy. While others seem to glide through life, you've had to fight for every step forward. But there's a reason for that. Your soul was being shaped. True royalty isn't born in comfort. It's forged in fire. Every trial, every betrayal, every challenge was part of your transformation. They weren't there to break you. They were there to reveal your strength. Even in your darkest moments, when you felt completely alone, when it seemed like no one had your back, something kept you going. You've never truly been defeated, no matter how close it felt. There's a force that has always been watching over you, guiding you through the storm. You've survived things that would have shattered others. You've walked through fire and come out stronger. That's not luck. That's protection. You carry the blood of royalty, and with it, divine protection. No matter what happens, you rise. You see the world differently than most. While others are easily distracted chasing short-term highs and surface-level validation, you've always longed for something deeper. Things like money, status, and attention don't satisfy you, not in the way they seem to satisfy others. What you crave is meaning, purpose, truth, wisdom. Shallow conversation don't interest you, and empty pursuits drain you. There's a quiet pull inside you, a calling you might not fully understand yet. But it's real. You were never meant to live like everyone else. You were meant to awaken, to lead, to be the light when everything else feels dark. And yes, you've known loss. especially the kind that makes no sense. People you loved just drifted away. Friendships ended without warning. But that wasn't a punishment. It was alignment. Not everyone is meant to walk beside you. The universe removes what doesn't match your purpose. When people leave, it's not because you're unlovable. It's because you're being cleared for those who truly belong in your life. And in the meantime, you've become a magnet for people who are hurting. Broken souls are drawn to you, even when you don't understand why. It's your energy, your calm, your wisdom, your light. You're a healer by nature, whether you've claimed that or not. People feel safe around you because something within you is powerful and ancient. This, too, is a sign of your royal lineage. You're here to lift others up, to help them find their way back to the light. You've always sensed that there's more to life than what we see. While others question the divine, you've simply known. You've felt it, in your bones, in your spirit. You've seen signs, you've had dreams that felt more like messages. You've had moments where life lined up so perfectly. It felt like the universe was speaking directly to you. That's because it was. You're deeply connected to something higher. You weren't sent here to live an ordinary life. You were sent on a mission. You might have gifts others don't understand. Powerful intuition, an ability to feel energy in a room, a mind that works in symbols, in visions. Maybe your creativity flows from a place you can't explain. That's not a coincidence. That's inheritance. You're here to see what others can't, to dream what others won't, and to build what others think is impossible. You carry the essence of something ancient, something noble, and your gifts are the proof. You've always felt it. Something deep inside calling you toward something greater. No matter where life has taken you, there's always been this inner pull for more, for truth, for meaning, for something real. Even if you've drifted off course, something always brings you back. You crave wisdom. You're drawn to light, and that's not by accident. It's because your soul remembers. You're waking up. You're beginning to understand who you truly are, not who the world told you to be, but who you've always been at your core. This journey hasn't been easy. You've faced pain, confusion, setbacks, but through it all, you've stayed strong. And that strength, it's not just yours. It runs through your blood. It comes from your ancestors, from a sacred lineage, from divine protection that's been guiding you all along. You're not just anyone. You were chosen, not by the standards of the world, but by the wisdom of the divine. You've been set apart, and now, finally, you're beginning to remember. Every struggle, every moment of doubt, every challenge was preparing you for this. The signs have always been there, waiting for you to see them. You were never truly lost. You were just in the process of being found. And now, your royal blood is waking up. Nothing can stop what's coming next. This is your awakening. When you realize who you are, everything begins to shift. And this shift, it's not just a moment. It's a total transformation. Your mind, your heart, your spirit, they all begin to change. The illusions you once lived in start to fall away. And what's left is the raw, undeniable truth. You were never meant to live small. This journey isn't easy. Awakening rarely is. But once you see, you can't unsee. Once you begin to wake up, there's no going back. The version of you that once fit into this world no longer feels right. That's because it wasn't the real you. Your awakening didn't just start today. It's been unfolding your whole life. There were moments that cracked you open, moments that forced you to question everything, times when you suffered in ways no one else understood. Those weren't coincidences. They were the first tremors of your soul breaking free. The universe, your ancestors, your spirit guides, They've all been leading you here. One of the first signs you're waking up is a growing discomfort with the world around you. What used to entertain you now feels empty. What once distracted you no longer works. The noise starts to fade, and suddenly you can hear your own soul. You stop chasing what everyone else is after. Money, status, validation, and start craving something real. That's because your spirit is remembering its true purpose, and with that remembering comes power. Your intuition sharpens. You sense things others miss. You feel energy more deeply. Your dreams shift, sometimes becoming messages, visions. You begin seeing through lies, feeling truth beneath the surface. That's your divine connection strengthening. The more you trust it, the more the path becomes clear. You start to realize so much of what you were taught was designed to keep you asleep, because a fully awakened soul can't be controlled. And that's exactly why the world fears the awakening of the chosen ones. But it's too late. You're already waking up. As you begin to wake up to your true self, you might start feeling distant from people you were once close to. Conversations that used to feel easy now feel awkward. You may not connect with the same groups or find the same joy in familiar places. That's because your energy is shifting. As you rise into a new version of yourself, it becomes harder to stay in environments that no longer match who you're becoming. This is one of the toughest parts of awakening, the realization that not everything and everyone can come with you. Some people were only meant to walk with you for a season. Letting go can be painful, but it's necessary. Emotional turbulence is another strong sign that you're awakening. You might feel intense emotions, deep sadness, sudden peace, or waves of anxiety. That's your soul clearing out everything that was never truly yours. The pain, the false beliefs, the roles you were taught to play. All of it has to fall away. Awakening is a process of shedding. You are being refined, cleansed, and prepared for something greater. There will be times when you feel lost, like your world is unraveling, and you might even question your sanity. That's okay. It's normal. Every awakened soul has passed through that space. What's happening is the collapse of your old reality, the version of life you were handed, and the emergence of a new one. You're standing in the space between what was and what's coming. It's unfamiliar, but it's where transformation begins. Be patient. Don't rush the process. Your spirit is adjusting to a new way of being, and that takes time. As your awakening deepens, you'll start noticing synchronicities, repeating numbers, chance encounters, messages that seem too perfect to be random. These aren't coincidences. They're signs. They're confirmation that you're on the right path. The universe communicates through symbols and moments that grab your attention. The more you notice, the more they'll show up. Your spiritual gifts will begin to surface. Maybe stronger intuition, psychic insights, or an enhanced ability to manifest. You'll start to feel a calling, something nudging you toward a higher purpose. You'll feel pulled to serve, to share, to uplift others. That's because this path isn't just about waking up. It's about guiding others too. But it's not an easy road. Awakening means seeing the truth, and truth isn't always comfortable. You'll begin to recognize the lies that have shaped the world, the systems, the illusions, the distractions. It might hurt at first, realizing how much has been hidden, but you were meant to see it. You were chosen to know. And with that awareness comes responsibility. Protect your energy. Not everyone will understand your evolution. Some may try to pull you back into your old patterns or make you doubt your progress. Don't let them. You've outgrown that version of yourself. You can't unsee what you've seen. You can't return to what you've outgrown. Keep moving forward, even if the path feels lonely sometimes. The universe will bring the right people into your life, the ones who are meant to walk this journey with you. This is just the beginning. Awakening isn't a one-time event. It's a lifelong unfolding. Each day, you'll uncover more truth. Each step brings you deeper into your power. Don't fear the changes. Embrace them. You were always meant to wake up. You were always meant to remember who you are. And now, that time has come. The world might not be ready for you, but you must be ready for the world. Walk boldly. Stand in your truth. Trust the divine guidance that's been with you all along. You are no longer lost. You are no longer asleep. You are rising into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. So, what happens when you finally accept your divine birthright? Everything begins to shift. This isn't just a realization, it's an activation. A door opens inside of you, and the power that's always been there begins to awaken. For so long, you searched for something outside of yourself, but the missing piece was never out there. It was always the truth of who you are. And now that you've claimed it, everything changes. First comes a deep inner peace. The restlessness that used to haunt you fades away. You stop needing outside validation. You no longer seek approval from others because you know your worth comes from the divine, not from the world. You're not here to blend in. You're here to stand out, to rise, to lead. As doubt dissolves, confidence grows. Your energy shifts. You begin vibrating on a new level, and the world responds. People who once drained your spirit drift away. Situations that used to stress you out no longer hold the same weight. In their place, new doors open. Opportunities, connections, and experiences that align with your purpose. The universe begins to work with you, not against you, guiding you exactly where you're meant to be. The struggles that once felt unbearable now make sense. You begin to understand why you had to endure so much pain, why you felt alone, why life seemed harder for you than for others. It all starts to click. Every challenge was shaping you, preparing you, strengthening you for who you're becoming. You stop seeing your past as a weight and start recognizing it as a sacred training ground, a foundation for the purpose you're stepping into. Your intuition sharpens. The connection to the divine, something you once questioned, now feels crystal clear. You start receiving signs, guidance, and insights with ease. You begin to trust yourself more deeply, because you realize the answers were never out there. They were always within you. The doubts that used to cloud your mind fade away, replaced by a calm, unwavering knowing. You don't hesitate anymore because you're aligned with something greater. Every move you make is guided. Every step feels intentional. And then your purpose begins to unfold. That quiet feeling you've always had, the sense that you were made for something more, starts taking form. When you claim your divine birthright, the fog lifts. Your path becomes clearer. You're drawn toward certain people, pulled in new directions, inspired to create, lead, teach, or heal. You realize that the moment you embraced who you truly are, the universe started placing you exactly where you were meant to be. That's when the miracles begin. What used to feel impossible now flows to you with ease. The things you once tried so hard to make happen start unfolding naturally. You find yourself at the right place at the right time again and again. Doors that were once closed now swing wide open. This is what happens when you stop resisting your destiny and start flowing with it. Your blessings don't have to be forced anymore. They find you. But with this power comes responsibility. The more you step into your divine role, the more life will test your resolve. Not everyone will celebrate your awakening. Some will try to bring you down, make you question yourself, challenge your growth. But now you see these trials for what they are. Distractions. You no longer let them shake you. Your past doesn't define you anymore. The mistakes, the heartaches, the low points, they don't hold you back. You've made peace with them. You see them as part of your evolution. You stop carrying guilt and shame. You stop reliving old wounds. You stop looking back. Instead, you look forward, armed with wisdom, strength, and purpose. And most importantly, you become unstoppable. Fear no longer controls you. The things that once intimidated you now hold no power. You realize you are divinely protected. When you walk in purpose, nothing can truly harm you. Your confidence becomes unshakable, not because of anything external, but because you're standing in the power of your divine inheritance. This is what happens when you embrace your divine birthright. The illusions fall away, and truth rises to the surface. You stop just surviving. You start thriving. You stop questioning. You start knowing. You stop doubting. You start believing. You're no longer lost. You're no longer searching. You've come home, to yourself, to your power, to your divine destiny. And now, nothing can stop you. How to reclaim your royal inheritance. You've been chosen, and accepting your divine birthright is just the beginning. Now, it's time to reclaim what has always been yours. This inheritance isn't about money or possessions. It's deeper. It's spiritual. It's powerful. It will change your life. It's the wisdom, strength, and divine authority that's been buried under layers of doubt, programming, and lies. You're not here to ask for what already belongs to you. You're here to claim it with unwavering certainty. The first step, declare it. Speak it aloud. Own it. Say with confidence, I am the lost child of the divine kingdom, and I reclaim my power. These aren't just words. They're commands to the universe. The moment you speak your truth, your energy shifts. The forces that once held you back, they move aside. You won't walk in confusion anymore. You won't shrink yourself to fit into a world that was never designed for your greatness. Next, break free from the illusions that kept you asleep. This world has tried to make you forget who you are by keeping you distracted, exhausted, disconnected. Reclaiming your inheritance means cutting ties with anything that dulls your light. That includes toxic relationships, limiting beliefs, and anything else that keeps you playing small. You cannot step into your royal identity carrying the baggage of your past. Let it go. Free yourself. Then, align with divine guidance, meditation, prayer, stillness. These are your sacred tools. You've been receiving signs all along, but the noise of the world made them hard to hear. So make space. Be quiet. Tune in. Your soul is speaking. Your guides, your ancestors, your higher self, they're waiting, but you have to listen. Raise your frequency. Your royal inheritance exists on a higher plane of energy. To reach it, you must elevate yourself. Choose thoughts, actions, and environments that reflect your divine nature. Be intentional about what you feed your body, your mind, and your spirit. Surround yourself with wisdom, truth, light. The more you rise, the more your power returns to you. Now walk like royalty. Carry yourself with confidence, with presence. Stop wondering if you're worthy. You are. Stop doubting your strength. It's always been inside you. Royalty doesn't ask for permission to exist. Royalty takes up space with purpose. So stand tall. Speak with conviction. Move like someone who knows exactly who they are. You're not lost anymore. You're on your way back to your throne. And expect miracles. Your inheritance includes divine favor, protection, and guidance. When you walk in alignment with your truth, the universe responds. Doors will open. People will show up. Opportunities will flow. What once felt impossible will now unfold naturally. That's not luck. It's divine alignment. Reclaiming your royal inheritance isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you've always been. You weren't meant to live in confusion. You weren't made to struggle. You were made to rise, to lead, to shine. The waiting is over. The doubt is gone. Now, step fully into your divine destiny. Now, reclaim what has always been yours. Final message to the chosen ones. Chosen one, you were never meant to be ordinary. Confusion, doubt, and mediocrity were never your destiny. Every challenge you've faced, every heartbreak, every lonely night, every moment that tried to break you, was preparing you for this truth. You are royalty, not in the eyes of the world, but by divine design. You've walked through fire. You've weathered storms. And yet, you're still standing. That alone is proof of your strength. The time for second-guessing is over. The season of hesitation has ended. You are no longer lost, no longer searching. You have come home. To your true self, to your truth, to your divine birthright. The world may not see you yet. That's okay. What matters is that you see you. When you fully embrace your power, the world won't be able to ignore it. You are protected. You are guided. You have been chosen by something greater than yourself. The universe is aligning in your favor, now that you've accepted your role. Fear has no place here. No obstacle, no enemy, no challenge can stop what's destined for you. You were made for this. The strength you feel rising inside of you, it's not new. It's always been there, waiting for you to remember who you are. So rise, and never again shrink yourself for a world that could never contain your light. Never again let others tell you who you're supposed to be. You are the lost child of a royal bloodline, awakened, empowered, and ready to reclaim everything that was always yours. From this moment on, walk with confidence, speak with authority, move with purpose. Your path is clear, and your future is calling. You were made for greatness. You're not alone. All over the world, the chosen ones are waking up. Your energy will attract your tribe, the ones who see you, who feel what you feel, who carry the same light. This isn't the end. This is the beginning. Your story is just getting started, and the best chapters are still to come. Rise, chosen one. Your time is now